Hello, my name is Athena and I am a teacher, but I'm also an author, I'm a mum, I'm a very proud auntie and a very proud godmother. And one of my favourite things to do with all these children is to read stories. And I love children's stories, mainly because you never know what's going to happen next. They're really fun, they're exciting, they're often really funny as well, and they take you into a world that's different to your own. For the time that you're reading that story, you escape your world and you enter a new one. Now, the worlds that I have taken inspiration from for my story are the world of fairy tales, which have princes and princesses and witches and magic. And I've taken the world of Greek myths, which have heroes and heroines. They've got gods and goddesses, more monsters, more magic. And I've also taken the modern world, which is the world that we live in today. And I've taken things like girl power, which is great, and things like vegetarianism. And I've taken all these three worlds and I've put them together, and I've written a book called Once Upon a Myth, and this is my book. Now, as you can see, probably, there are a range of characters in my book. Now, my book has 5 different stories in it. The first one is about Hansel and Gretel, whom you can see over here. And they come across the Minotaur. Now, in most versions of Hansel and Gretel that you've probably read, they go into a forest in search of food, and they found a beautiful gingerbread house, and they come upon a witch who wants to eat them. In my version, however, they get lost in a labyrinth, which is a maze where you don't know where you're going to end up. And they come across this beautiful temple that's made out of sweets and jello and marshmallow and all things yummy. And instead of seeing a witch, though, they see the Minotaur. And they try and overcome the Minotaur by turning him to vegetarianism, hence the modern world. My second story is about these 2 characters. Now, these 2 are from the mythical world. So they are Prometheus, that's the boy, and Pandora, that's the girl. And I've put them together, and I've combined their story with Jack and the Beanstalk. But instead of them climbing the beanstalk and reaching a giant, they climb the beanstalk and they reach Olympus, home of the gods. And that's where they face Zeus, king of the gods. The third story I've written is about this girl here, and she's called Penthesilea. Now, she's again another mythical character who loved to ride horses. And she just, the world of the Amazons was just for women. And I've taken her story and I've combined it with the story of Cinderella. And I've also put elements of Snow White in there, Sleeping Beauty, and The Princess and the Pea. My next story is about this girl here, whom you might guess straight away from your fairy tale knowledge, and she is Little Red Riding Hood. Now, where she goes into the forest in search of her grandmother, she comes across this guy here, this god called Dionysus. But instead of worshipping Dionysus as she should, she does not. And so things unravel in quite an unexpected way. Then the final story is the one I'm going to read to you today, is about this girl here. Now, this is Snow White. So let's see what happens to her. Snow White and Medusa. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, gods and princesses lived hand in hand. All want respect, their power and glory. All want to rule and govern this story. It's about Snow White and her stepmother, but trust me, this tale is like no other. The wicked stepmother is also the queen. She's pretty to look at, but really quite mean. If anyone asks what she cares for the most, she'll reply proudly with a belt and a boast. And this is the queen here. She says, I am the prettiest, the fairest, I'm simply the best. By far I'm superior, better than the rest. My hair is shiny, it glistens and flows. My skin is clear. It's radiant, it glows. I can work a camera and strike a good pose. I have great style, just admire my clothes. It's simple, you see, I wear only couture. Why would I be modest, reserved and demure? Versace and Gucci and Stella are my friends. This way I know, I set fashion trends. I adore my wonderful, stunning good looks. I don't care for reading and silly old books. Knowledge, you see, is boring and stupid. I'm certain of this. You can even ask Cupid. I very much hate anyone who is clever. Respect them? Should I? No way, I say never. To me, dear reader, being brainy is boring. I'd rather be glamorous, beautiful, adoring. I'm wonderful, gorgeous, pretty as can be. There's no one out there who is fairer than me. The queen isn't showing the gods her respect. Without it, she's doomed. Her life will be wrecked. She's insulting Athena, a goddess so wise, who noticed and is plotting her fall and demise. And this is Athena. There she is with her armour, her shield with an owl on it, and her spear. By dismissing the clever, she angered Athena. When it comes to revenge, there's nobody meaner. Athena decided to make her pay, and all you'll read next took place in one day. Athena thought what revenge would be. She knew the queen's passion was her beauty. I'll strip her of her good looks, ugly she'll be, a horror and fright to all whom she'll see. Now, what kind of monster should she become? A terror to all, not merely to some. I've got an idea, she said with a hiss. Nothing must now go amiss. Armed with her plan, Athena took flight and went to find the dearest Snow White. Now listen to me, for though you are fair, I know you have courage, and that mix is rare. I have a vital task I'll ask you to do, but I'll ask Prince Charming if it frightens you. It involves your stepmother, queen of this land. Now tell me, Snow White, will you lend me a hand? Snow White hesitated. Was she really that strong? Was fighting your stepmother not naughty and wrong? At last, though, she reasoned, well, the gods are supreme, and her stepmother was, after all, so mean. I'm in, Athena, I'll follow you. Just tell me what it is you want me to do. Take Gianni Versace off her speed dial, convince her baldness is a trendy hairstyle, put worms and bugs in her seaweed wrap, make cold mud flow out of the tap, put sleeping pills in her morning coffee, replace her smoothie with sugar and toffee. I'll do what you say, I bet it's very cunning. Let's destroy that queen who loves to be stunning. Athena was shocked. I thought princesses were nice. I mean, you befriend even birds and tiny mice. I'm glad you're daring and you're not just weak. I like a girl who has a little dark streak. We don't need some good-looking man. Together we will execute this brilliant plan. Snow White is excited for this bold enterprise. She now dresses up and puts on a disguise. She covers her dress with a thick black cape, attaches a fake nose that's wonky in shape. She adds some warts and crooked yellow teeth, and takes a dagger in a dark leather sheath. With a stick and a basket under her arm, Snow White is ready to go and do harm. She enters the castle and asks for the queen. By promising beauty, she's allowed to be seen. Tell me, old hag, the queen bellowed out loud, how on earth is it that you were allowed to come to my palace and speak directly to me, and what's more, to demand privacy? I'll tell you, Snow White said in disguise. Now remember, her words are nothing but lies. I'll make your beauty last forever. I have something magical and very clever. But before she could finish, the queen interrupted. I hate the clever, she screamed, she erupted. The clever are so ugly, just look at you. This I know to be real and true. Brains are pointless if you look like a hyena. No, I have no use for that goddess Athena. Now give me your potion and get it out of here. I feel all yucky just having you near. Snow White smiled to herself and said only, yes, and promised her potion would surely impress. She gave an apple, juicy and red, and she sniggered at how the queen was misled. And here she is, in her disguise with her fake nose and the warts, and she's giving the apple to the queen who's so disgusted by the sight of her. Queen rushed to her room, excited and alone. She stood by the mirror to admire her cheekbone. Oh, mirror, my fairest I'll stay, forever and ever, till my dying day. She bit into the apple and it had a great crunch. She had no suspicion, not even a hunch. She shuddered and flounders. She got the shakes, for her hair had turned into 31 snakes. The snakes were covered in numerous scales. They were hard as iron and sharp like nails. As one could ooze out yucky green slime, sticky and smelly and yucky and sour like lime. And at the end of every revolting snake head emerged a tongue that was forked and deep red. The snakes then started to hiss. The sound was loud, one you can't miss. It fills you with dread. It's creepily frightful. Nothing about it is calm or delightful. And there she is. There she is, the queen, turned into a monster with 31 snakes for hair. The queen realized that she had been transformed. Her looks and her beauty had all been deformed. Now fearful of herself and truly disgusted, she went to her mirror whose reflection she trusted. But instead of seeing herself in her new form, out popped Athena, like a thunderous storm. Do you still think the clever aren't cool? Surely you see that you are the fool. I said the old woman who came here and lied. The red apple was filled with poison inside. Athena continued to speak oh so smugly. You're Medusa now, famous but ugly. When others see you, they'll freeze in fear. No one will dare come anywhere near. You will suffer rejection and pain. Now you will suffer rejection and pain. You will be seen with disgust and disdain. Now you'll be a monster forever, all because you insulted the clever. Now Queen Medusa, what on earth could she do? If she cut one snake off, two more quickly grew. Each servant she spoke to simply stood still. It's true what they say, some looks can kill. So lonely and disgusted she relinquished her might, and the queen of the kingdom became fair Snow White. You think we're done here? Oh, no, dear, no. Hang in there, reader. We've a short way to go. While Snow White was happily ruling away, along came a man to the castle one day. I'm Prince Charming, Perseus, that's my name. I've a double talent and wonderful fame. I'm handsome, not modest, a hero, I'm great. I'm sure I can help set this great kingdom straight. I'm here to solve the problem you face. Yes, I'll get Medusa out of this place. So where is the monster? I won't now delay. For her stony, ugly looks, I'll make her pay. But as soon as he saw Medusa from behind, another thought quickly crept into his mind. My two talents could be useful, the answer, the key. Oh, maybe we're destined, Medusa and me. My first great passion is to style wild hair. I love perms and dreadlocks and backcombs with flair. My second hobby, in truth, is much calmer. I've long wanted to be an exotic snake charmer. I'll put these together and style hair that moves. I can do great things with my tunes and my grooves. He took the queen's beloved ukulele. Now listen, Medusa, please don't just slay me. My tunes can soothe those green snakes on your head. They'll enchant their beholders, remove any dread. A nice little waltz or a smooth lullaby. Just please, Medusa, at least let me try. He started to play. He had a good beat. It was rhythmic and soothing and restful and sweet. The snakes all together now moved along. They bobbed and they weaved to the shape of the song. Perseus now had them under control. This music spoke straight to their soul. They loved every style of tune he chose. Rock, hip-hop, waltz, or jazz and the blues. Perseus and Medusa now had as their servants an obedient den of 31 serpents. They managed to do all the boring house chores. They cooked all their meals and hoovered the floors. They dusted the bookshelves and washed up the plates. They watered their flowers and polished the gates. And here, look, there they are. You've got Medusa and Perseus playing his ukulele, and there are the snakes doing all the housework. And we see Queen Snow White in the portrait too. All happy and merry, Medusa got Prince Charming. The snakes proved useful, not in any way harming. Athena was pleased, her lesson was clear. Brains and thoughts must be treated as dear. Perseus styled everyone's hair. Snow White now ruled firmly, but fair. The snakes were jolly and joined in the laughter, and everyone there lived happily ever after. Well, I hope you enjoyed that story. That's just one from Once Upon a Myth. Please look it up. And I hope you enjoy reading the stories and the wonderful worlds that they came from. And if some of the mythical figures are new to you, and don't worry, that's absolutely fine, there is a glossary at the back of all the mythical characters so you can find out more about the ancient myths that brought it about. I hope you enjoy.